A lot of people have asked to see what a full nursing foot care visit actually looks like. So today you're coming with me into a real in-home appointment. This is one of my diabetic clients who has some localized IPK calluses under her metatarsal heads. We'll be addressing those along with routine skin and nail care. This is safe, conservative diabetic foot care. We will be focused on comfort, prevention, and protecting high-risk skin.
Really, the nails are just a touch-up because most of the work we do is on the calluses. I'll just tidy up the nails and the edges with a diamond burr. Just using a feather touch. Not trying to thin them out. Tidy up any dry skin. A little bit more pressure on the callus, but not too much because the diamond heats up. I always stress how important the lines are. Make sure your nails have straight lines, the best that you can. Corners. Skin. Definitely want to make sure that corner is round. Some nails on this side. Nail catcher down. These ones like to curl into the toe. It looks like there's no length, but wiggle the nippers under and has been growing. Always pay special attention to this outer part of the fifth toe because that will snag on a sock, the worst of any of them. It doesn't take long for it to grow out. Okie dokie, so we're going to work on these calluses, which are placed directly under the metatarsal heads. So these would be IPK calluses, which are caused by constant vertical pressure downward. And really, she doesn't have a lot of the fatty padding left here on this part of her foot, so it's her body's way of protecting itself. But it feels a lot more comfortable for her when this callus is reduced. So we're going to do that today. Now, I really enjoy using barrel burrs for callus reduction, nail reduction. This is a new one to me, so we're going to give it a try and see how we like it. So we're going to try this new barrel burr. Oh, I'm going to open the chuck. Oh yeah, it fits. Had me right there for a moment. Okay, so because it's a carbide, we're going to have to increase the speed a little bit on our E-file. So we want to use a higher speed. And one of the reasons why I like the barrel burr is because it has this free edge. And you have to be very careful with this free edge, but with experience and a steady hand, you can use it to debride callus quite effectively, and nails for that matter. Oops. So I like to start with a carbide when I'm dealing with callus, and then we go from there. Crank it up a little bit more. Now it's vibrating a little bit more than the other burrs because it's a larger burr. So you'll just let me know if it's uncomfortable. Yeah. Give me a hand signal or a wave. I'm just actually using that free edge. Try not to file your fingers. Had to get my finger in there though, because I'm just really closely monitoring the temperature. She has been using a metatarsal pad in her shoes, which we'll have a look at when we're done here, which she says has been helping. So with the metatarsal pads, we like to place them behind the metatarsals, not directly over them, because we're not really trying to pad them and increase anything under the metatarsals necessarily. We usually want to take the pressure off of them completely, or as much as we can. So if we place the pad just under the metatarsals, then this will relieve the pressure on them to a certain extent. But we can see that there is callus buildup already anyways. Very carefully working around that ridge here. And then we're going to use the flat side of the barrel. It's really nice. It has a lot of surface area. Doing that free edge is so useful. You just have to keep an eye on that skin. So it's not warming up too much. Starting to get to the more moist part of the epidermis, and burrs don't work quite as well on the moist skin. They start to lose a bit of their traction and their leverage. So that's why using a hand file at this point tends to be a little bit more effective. So I'm angling it inwards here to really sort of dig in to that callus. Go. It's amazing what you can achieve with a simple emery board. These, of course, are my signature longevity custom-made emery boards. So we got one side that's super coarse. Well, it's 80 grit to be used with calluses and dry skin. And then we have the 240 grit on the other side so we can smooth and shape the nails. Kind of come around the edge of this first metatarsal head because we have a bit of a ridge that builds up here. So we want to smooth that out as much as possible. Make it feel natural. And I'm definitely using pressure here. A little more pressure than I would with a burr because heat's not nearly as much of an issue. This nice coarse. doesn't matter if it's a bit rough when we're done because we're going to smooth that with the diamond burr. Or if I had a ruby Callus burr, I would use that too because that works really nice for smoothing skin. So I'm just judging as I go along by the softness of our skin, basically. How easy it is to push on it to tell us that we're thinning out that hard layer at the top. So I'm going to move over to the diamond burr now. Oh, this arrow really sticks in there. Okay. Basically, we don't want any furry, hairy skin. We want it to all be smoothed out. The thing you really can't do on wet skin, one of the problems with wet skin is when you file it, it just tears it up too much and it becomes a bit furry. And you don't get this as smooth of a finish actually, especially once the skin dries out. Here, because the skin is nice and dry, we know whatever we're ending with is accurate, and it's going to be like that later on today. When you're working with calluses, you're always trying to balance client comfort and not over filing. You don't want them to be like raw and uncomfortable, first of all, but also the body is just going to, if you overfile, it's going to over compensate and start getting right to work building that callus up again. So it's better to be moderate and safe and understand that hardened skin, the callus is serving a purpose. Can't necessarily just file all of the dry skin away. That's part of that is just aftercare treatment, moisturizing, hydrating it. A lot of people have been asking me about it. I'm using the Remedy cleanser bottle, but I've actually refilled it with Podoexpert cleanser. And both of them are really great cleansers. They're both pH balanced, very hydrating for the skin, very cleansing, and you can just wipe it on and wipe it off. The Podoexpert has a little bit more oomph. It has a little bit of urea in it, so it's a little bit more softening. And just that urea actually helps it hydrate just all the better too. Always making sure to get between the toes really, really well. Never leave your client with wet. And today we've got the Podoexpert without urea. So this is the dry crack skin. It just doesn't actually have urea in it. It actually doesn't rely. It's the first time we're using it, so it usually gives a little splatter. Oh, not bad. Podoexpert products are not reliant on the urea to be hydrating for the skin, actually. They use ceramides and biomimetic lipids, and they plug themselves into the crack, dry, damaged skin. And so it just creates a nice cohesive skin surface or epidermis, which keeps the moisture in and helps the skin repair itself. So in addition to that, because it absorbs so well, it's not reliant on greasy emollients, plugs right into the skin, so we can even apply it between the toes as long as we rub it in, make sure it's completely rubbed in, and it's safe. So it's very diabetic friendly because it's not creating an environment where microbes can thrive. And you can even put compression stockings and socks on right after. So, okay, foot number 2. Again, we have that IPK callus here. Again, right on the 5th metatarsal head. A little bit of callus buildup in and around the medial side of the 1st metatarsal, and some dry skin on the heels. But overall, less callus on this foot. So. This barrel bur is looking fantastic. I was worried about these ones, these wholesale barrel burrs. I thought they weren't going to be as good. But given that this is literally the first time I've used it on camera, I can say I'm happy. I'm happy with it. And it's really not vibrating very much now. I think if I cranked the speed up too high, it would. Feels nice. Give the toes a little squeeze. Got blood sort of flowing there. How often do you get your toes squeezed? Never. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe you're the person that does, but most people don't. Always give lots of extra attention to the toes. Lovely. Happy feet.